What's going on, everyone? I'm Matt.
And I'm Vanessa.
And I know. Let me stop you right there. I know that so many of the big name movie reviewers on YouTube were able to get into advanced screenings for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and therefore do reviews for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Well, we are not big name movie reviewers on YouTube.
Sure aren't.
Small. And so what do we do? Yeah, we're the little people. So what do? We went and saw The Lost City of Z. Or Zed, as it's pronounced or known by in the movie. Yes. But The Lost City of Z stars Charlie Hunnam, Sienna Miller, and Robert Pattinson. No, not that Robert Pattinson. This Robert Pattinson. And The Lost City of Z tells the true story of Colonel Percival Fawcett, who made 3 voyages to the Amazon over the span of 20 years in hopes of one day finding the lost city of, you guessed it, Zed. But it's much more than that, because this was actually a man who was recruited at first to make a map to help define the borders of Bolivia and stave off a war, and at the same time he was trying to vault his position in society and save his family name, but instead he goes off to the Amazon, and what ends up happening to him and those with him change the course of history forever.
Yes, it's an incredibly fascinating true story. It makes me want to travel and explore the world, which is fantastic. And then it takes a true story and makes you actually forget that you're watching a movie.
I would agree with that, because I thought that this movie was rather remarkable. It's visually striking at first to start off with. I mean, so many scenes are just amazing to look at. The costumes, the set pieces, the jungles, the use of natural lighting, everything about the film works.
It's absolutely beautiful. The filming locations, multiple locations in Colombia as well as Northern Ireland in this movie, they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, there's a real attention to detail that grabs the eye.
Then it's just filmed masterfully. The costumes are incredibly authentic for the early 1900s. It just makes you feel like you're there in that time.
It does. It really does. And I would not be able to say enough about the directing of this movie. James Gray, I believe.
Gray, yes.
Yes, which we own. We own the night. That's a nice little
the
sentence.
night.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there because I believe he's directed 10 films, and that's the only other one I've seen. But man, oh man, that guy he's good.
It's pretty good.
You know who else is good? Charlie Hunnam.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's actually pretty phenomenalous, if you will. Phenomenal, fabulous. You can take that, use it, tell your friends. It's pretty good. But no, seriously though, his performance it's great.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen him before, Pacific Rim, Cold Mountain, but never like this. In this film, he really shows a command for the screen.
He really
does a great job.
He really does. In addition to that, I absolutely love the script. Just gonna rewind a little bit. I love the script. Taking it back to early 20th century proper English. It's quite refreshing to hear that language. You don't really hear it. I mean, at least I don't really hear it. But I live in Las Vegas, so that might be why.
Yeah, if you were hearing it here in Las Vegas, it'd be a little strange. I'd be wondering what you were doing with your days. Anyways. Besides Charlie Hunnam, I love the character of Percy.
Yes.
Percy Fawcett. Thank
you.
I knew where I was going with that. No, I just love the fact that throughout the movie we see like a change, a transformation. Because as I already said, he starts off by trying to carve a name for himself. He's trying to put himself in society, up his status and make him be a part of high society.
Right.
That's what I was looking for. And really just trying to carve out a name for himself. But then he changes. There's a change that happens once he goes to the Amazon, and he becomes drawn not only to the jungle, but to the natives who live in the Amazon.
He becomes this curious figure. Charlie portrays this individual. He starts off proud and brave, and then becomes very curious. And he makes a lot of sacrifices to explore what the people who are funding this could never really imagine.
Yeah, it's a pretty tremendous transformation. I do really like the character, and his performance is great. Sienna Miller is good. Believe it or not, Robert Pattinson is good. You can take my word for it.
He is.
And also Tom Holland, who plays Percy's oldest son, Jack, he's also really starting to make a name for himself.
He really is.
He's the new Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
But he's also doing other stuff.
Yes,
He's
he
done
is.
other stuff. And so I like the fact that he's really coming along.
And then to me, this movie is quite eye-opening.
Yes.
Especially with the differences between curiosity and dominance. Everybody knows about conquistadors if you ever took a history class. Europeans just traveling the world to claim land that in most cases belonged to other people, maybe not as civilized, but they call the Indians, the natives, savages.
Yeah.
And I really kind of find that offensive, but I've taken so much history and love history that's probably why it bothers me so much. But in this movie, it really divides that difference between being so curious and wanting to learn about a culture, about something you don't know about, and going in there and just wanting to conquer, control, take whatever you want, take whatever you need, like how America was made. But anyways, it's eye-opening in my opinion.
It's late. We went there.
We did.
It's late. But no, to add on to that actually is, to me, part of what makes this story the movie is incredibly well made, but it also is important in that regards. And I didn't know anything about this story. I really didn't. And so it does make that character of Percy Fawcett, I guess, that much more important, because he did try to change people's mindsets.
Yes.
In such a drastic way that was pretty much unheard of for the time. And you talked about division. I'm just picking up on my cues now. Like I said, it's late. This movie, I do think, will divide people. I think some people will go into the movie and leave being amazed or wowed, and others, and I have read some reviews, will leave bored. But this is almost a 2.5 hour long movie, and it's not full of action or a whole lot of suspense, but it is steeped in great directing, some pretty good acting, and some very rich dialogue, and for those reasons, I'm giving this movie an A.
I have A written down right there.
It's so good. It's so good. And I was actually, and I was also expecting it to be good, but it still managed to floor me in some areas. I wasn't expecting it to be this good.
And I would agree with you on that, because my interest was on the screen the entire time. I felt like I was part of the movie, and I love when a movie can do that.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not going to be for everyone, but I do recommend it. I do think it is worth checking out if it does sound appealing to you. And of course, if you've already seen it, leave us a comment.
Please.
Let us know what you thought.
Yes, please.
And of course, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more of our awesome movie reviews, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you guys next time.